Apriums. What are they? One of three types of apricot-plum hybrids. An aprium, a plumcot, and a pluot are the different ones. Planted on Viking, Atlas, and Cetacean rootstock. Chris Floyd Zeiger. He was one of the most influential fruit breeders in developing hybrid stone fruit. He currently holds 446 patents. Zeiger founded the Zeiger Genetics, a fruit breeding business in California, and he is responsible for breeding an apricot and a plum to create an aprium in the 1980s. Genetics. The aprium was not genetically modified. It's actually the result of natural breeding. There are many different varieties. However, these were some of the ones that I was able to find some information on to present. The cotton candy is pictured below, and that one has a higher percentage of apricot than a standard aprium. The Flavor Delight aprium, shown here, is an interspecific apricot. This is one of the apriums that Zeiger Genetics created. However, their patent has since expired, and it is therefore available without having to pay a royalty back to Zeiger Genetics. The Leacott is also an aprium that Zeiger had created. However, this one, the patent is still current on. The apriums are known for growing in California and the Pacific Northwest, as they're harder to grow in colder climates. However, at the vineyard that I worked at last fall, they also had an orchard that had apriums in them, and that's where I learned about this type of fruit and what it is. They also have some farms in Michigan that are attempting to grow apriums. For the cultural value, an aprium was created by first cross-pollinating a plum and an apricot. The apricot pollen is used on plum trees, resulting in plums with seeds that bear fruit that is a 50-50 cross. The seed is planted and becomes what growers call the mother stalk. This mother tree can produce both an aprium and a pluot. If the pluot pollen is used for pollination, the resulting fruit will be predominantly plum and becomes a pluot. If the apricot pollen is used, the fruit will carry primarily apricot qualities and becomes an aprium. This is a great crop if you have a large variety of fruit, as it will bring in cash during the spring when most of your other fruits are still growing. As this one has a early cropping season that's a brief 2 to 3 weeks in May and June. The freshness period of this, after picked, is relatively short. You want to leave it in a paper bag on a counter for 2 to 4 days to finish ripening, and then cold storage for 3 to 5 days after ripening. However, the best place to store them is actually still on the tree. They're also known for having a plentiful supply of nutrients, including high in vitamins A and C. For the diseases and pests, most of the prunus fruits are climateric. Controlling ethanol biosynthetic or action is important to control post-harvest quality of the fruit. If we drop below 25 degrees, severe damage can be caused. Apriums are affected by a wide range of disease and pests, and some of them include powdery mildew and brown rot. Shown in the lower photo is the Phytophthora root rot, and in the upper photo, I believe, is the bacteria spot. Most other diseases that affect an apium and pluots are known to affect peaches and apricots. Harvest. Harvest is usually in May and June. You want to avoid the green fruits because it shows that they were picked too early, and the red fruits merely show that they were in the sunlight during its growth time. The seeds do not adhere to the flesh, which is great when you're eating them, as they're easy to pull out. They have the characteristics of an apricot with a defined suture running from stem to tip. They have smooth skin, like an apricot, that's coated with a light fuzz. And they are very sweet with very little acid. There was a harvest study done that showed the effects of 1-MCP in combination with COS and post-harvest quality of apium fruits. The decay rate in the 1-MCP COS or 1-MCP plus COS treated fruits decreased by 33%, 67%, and 74% respectively. The culinary that you can produce with this delicious fruit is apium fruit salad, apium pie with sour cream, custard, rum, and ginger, an apium tart, and an apium and cardamom creme brulee are just some of the many choices you have to make with this. An interesting fact is that pluots and apiums are one of the best natural sources of vitamin A, which is essential for healthy skin. And these are my works cited. The tree on the left shown is a apium tree, which tends to be smaller than most fruit trees. Thank you.